Hey, what's going on guys? Mush back at it with another video. In today's video, I want to highlight an awesome free app that's coming to Steam very soon. It helps out with those of you that really like to take advantage of emulators and ROMs. And I've always said that that's been one of the best features if you are a PC gamer, being able to take advantage and utilize, the decades and decades of gaming history and play a lot of games from yesteryear, even if they don't look as good. Some of these games are still very good, and some of these games were incredibly nostalgic with, well, RetroArch is coming to Steam. I want to give you guys the rundown of what that is. For those of you guys that have been playing Monster Hunter World, especially as we are getting closer and closer to the release of Iceborne, unfortunately, on PC, it's not going to be coming as quickly, but nonetheless, MH World has been one of the prominent PC games in recent months, and Nvidia is saying that DLSS will improve your Monster Hunter World frame rate by up to 50%. And that update is coming very soon. And lastly, while we're waiting on the Halo Master Chief Collection, a brand new mod for Halo actually just came out, and it completely overhauls the original game with new levels, weapons, and graphics. We'll talk that at the end of this video. First though, I do want to give you guys the rundown on RetroArch. This is an app that's already available, and it pretty much simplifies all of your emulators and ROMs. I've heard that there are some issues with it, something that I haven't really taken advantage of, but now it's coming directly to Steam. Now, obviously, it's already available as a third-party application, so you can download it and then add it as, a non-Steam app or whatever the case may be. But now RetroArch is arriving into Steam directly on July 30th. And here's what it is. RetroArch is an open source and cross-platform front-end framework for emulators, game engines, video games, media players, and other applications. While it can do many things besides this, it is most widely known for enabling you to run classic games on a wide range of computers and consoles through a slick graphical interface. Settings are also unified, so configuration is done once and for all. In addition to this, you will soon be able to run original game disc CDs from RetroArch. You take video game preservation seriously and want to ensure that you can run your originally bought content on modern day PCs. RetroArch has advanced features like shaders, netplay, rewinding, next frame response times, run ahead, and more. Now, this is very interesting. The question of whether or not emulators and ROMs are ethical has always been a debate. I'm not going to get into that debate right now. However, something like this being available directly on Steam does open the floodgates of the potential of a lot of third-party publishers selling ROMs. I saw that idea thrown around, and I actually think that could be rather interesting. Now, obviously, if you finagle it a little bit, you can get pretty much any ROM for existing platforms rather easily thanks to the power of the internet. I'm not going to go into that, but I'm sure if you guys aren't living under a rock, you guys have already figured out how to do that. And you can access a lot of the games. The thing is, with a lot of the games that I play through emulators, I've already bought them at some point in my life. If you look at my PlayStation 2 library of physical games that I own on the PlayStation 2, I own a lot of PlayStation 2 games, and when I run the PCSX2 emulator on my PC, it's just to play PS2 games I already own most of the times. And even then, even if I buy a brand new copy off eBay, it's not like Capcom is seeing any of that money, so you guys get the idea. Emulators definitely have a place. It's just in the case of things like the Switch emulator getting off the ground, how does that impact the sales of Switch games? I think at the end of the day, if somebody really wanted to play a game and wanted a platform, they would just buy the platform. I don't really think ROMs and emulators hinders the sales of specific platforms and games, but nonetheless, that's a topic for another day. But again, RetroArch, something that is going to unify all of your emulators and ROMs. I've heard issues here and there where ROMs are sometimes undetectable, but those are issues that hopefully will be remedied over time. Again, RetroArch will be dropping free on Steam on July 30th, so that's something to be on the lookout for. Looks like it has a pretty slick interface, so for those of you that are into emulators and whatnot, that is going to be something to look at. I do also want to note that RetroArch made an official post over on Steam, and they noted it will be free, no DRM, no restrictions. Expect a bare-bones release at first that is basically identical to the version you are able to download on our website. Once the initial release is done, we can start catering to Steam's advanced features, so that's really cool. While we're going to get a very simplistic version at first, they are going to stay committed to it, and they're going to improve it. And considering it is a free application, they're really not incentivized all too much, so that's pretty cool that they are doing that. They noted we want to release on Windows first, and then in the upcoming weeks expand to Linux and Mac as well, so just a few weeks delay between the Windows and Linux release. That's pretty cool. And while RetroArch is in its bare bones state, there will be no Steamworks SDK usage of any kind. So again, that'll be dropping July 30th. Okay, moving on from that, I noticed that during the Steam summer sale, I believe the top seller for the majority of the time period during that sale was Monster Hunter World. It got a significant discount. I believe it was 50% off, and that is a great buy for Monster Hunter World. I am shocked at how big that game is and how many people are playing it, but Nvidia is saying that the performance for the game is going to get even better. Nvidia's AI-powered DLSS scaling hasn't been as flashy a talking point as ray tracing, but it has done a solid job in its stating purpose of bringing better performance to games running at higher resolutions, and Nvidia themselves are saying that you can expect performance boosts of up to 50%. Now, whether or not you actually get a 50% performance boost, that's a little bit lofty. DLSS itself shows its most notable improvements at 4K resolution, but it was noted in games like Metro Exodus that the gains can be pretty substantial. Nvidia also noted that 60 frames per second on max settings with the high resolution texture pack is now feasible thanks to the addition of DLSS. Now, the hardware that you're going to need to push 60 FPS at high resolutions and max settings, that's not really clarified, but you would need something pretty good, especially if you are looking to play at 4K. They've got some manufacturer benchmarks out right now already. However, you always have to take those with a little bit of a grain of salt. There's always going to be a lot of variables, and whenever Nvidia posts their own benchmarks and say that this is the frame rate we got with this GPU, that GPU, and then I test it myself, and then I have a couple of friends test their GPUs, it seems like there's always a wide array of different performances that people are getting. So I always take that with a grain of salt, but nonetheless, Monster Hunter World is about to get even better, and it's been one of the most compelling games this generation. With all of the updates that Capcom has thrown out, I know that the game had its fair share of issues at launch when it came out back in August of last year, but it has just gotten better and better. I know it is a huge bummer that we are not going to be getting Iceborne on September 6th, day and day, with the console version, but let's hope that it is out hopefully by the end of the year, maybe early next year. Was super bummed out that we already had to wait like 7.5 months to get the game on PC. Now we gotta wait even longer for Iceborne, but nonetheless, hopefully the wait is worth it because I'm excited to jump back into MH World. Kind of got my fix out of it, but once Iceborne drops, definitely gonna drop headfirst back into that. And lastly, I do want to note a pretty cool mod that is coming to the original Halo on PC, the SPV3 for Halo CE mod on the site ModDB by a creator who also goes by the name Halo SPV3. Reworks the game extensively. It adds new weapons, vehicles, enemies, features, graphics, extended levels, new story terminals, and much more, featuring a total playtime of over 24 hours on heroic and legendary difficulties. SPV3 is the largest and most feature-rich Halo campaign to date. That's pretty insane to say that Halo 1, you can get 24 hours of gameplay out of it on heroic difficulty. Halo 1, if you play it on heroic and you're decent at the game, you could probably complete it under 10 hours easily, probably around the 6 to 7 hour range if you really rush through it. And that's going off my recollection of the game, which might be a little bit shoddy at this point, but Halo 1 definitely was not a 24-hour game. I imagine that 24 hours is you doing like everything, really taking your time with it. Whenever I get hit with one of these playtime windows, like you're gonna spend X amount of hours in this game single player alone, I always take that with a little bit of a grain of salt, and I do knock a couple of hours off of that, because if I go through the game a little bit more naturally, maybe I don't do literally everything and look at everything that the game has to offer, okay, I'll complete it a little bit quicker, but nonetheless, gonna add a lot of content, and it's built with gameplay as a focus first and foremost, meant to expand and yet capture what made Halo Combat Evolved one of the best first-person shooters of all time. There's a release trailer for it, so I would give it a look for yourself. Obviously, everybody and their mother is waiting for MCC, but it looks like MCC is still a ways away. Halo Reach, we just got that test underway. However, it was just one campaign mission and it had a litany of issues. I think 343 are going to sit down, spend a lot of time with Halo Reach, and hopefully that'll be out by sometime in the fall. I was really hoping to play Halo Reach over my summer break, but nonetheless, looks like that won't be happening. Hopefully we get Halo Reach in the fall, and hopefully the subsequent games in the Master Chief Collection release quickly thereafter. But for now, you can look forward to this new mod for the original Halo, and you can check it out for yourself. I'll leave a link with more information in the description box below. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, for those of you guys that are super into emulators, keep your eyes on RetroArch. It might be a way to unify all of your emulators and give you a more simplistic yet stylish look to launch all of your games. Nvidia is saying that the DLSS update for Monster Hunter World is gonna up frame rate by 50%, up to 50% I should add. So hopefully the performance is pretty good on that, and the original Halo is getting a pretty insane mod. Cool stuff there. That's gonna conclude this video. Let me know all of your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.